Hey there, Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. And today's video, we are going to cover the week of December 2nd through the 8th, 2019. And then I will timestamp it and we will do the monthly, mid-month update rather, for the cycle of Sagittarius. So that'll pretty much cover December 5th through the 20th. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is an interesting week. They're all interesting lately. They really are. Okay, so the moon is currently in Aquarius. And so there's this idea that you've been kind of percolating, trying to figure things out, looking at things from a unique perspective. How can you be adaptable to that? And then on Monday, we also have Capricorn. We've got Jupiter moving into Capricorn. Now, Jupiter has spent the last 12 months in Sagittarius, which is its rule, you know, it rules Sagittarius. And so it's comfortable there. It's happy there. It likes what's going on there. And now it's coming from all this expansive, like, let's make things happy and light, which I don't know about you, this year's kind of been dicey that way. But now we're moving into Capricorn where things are about boundaries. And pretty soon throughout this year, it is going to come into conjunction first with Pluto and then with Saturn. And so it's boundaries and transformations. And so things are going to shift and change. And you might, depending on how sensitive you are, start picking up that energy. Whoa! Leo. You're already picking up that energy. I'm going to pull a card now for what you can do about what I'm seeing here. Because what I'm seeing here is the Ten of Swords. And this depiction of it is someone being stabbed in the back. Like you didn't see it coming, or you were trusting someone. So how does Leo handle this energy? Okay. I think you're being stabbed in the back in a work-related manner. This feels more like work. I mean, we start out the week in partnership, which could be business or romance. We finish out in your career sector in the 10th house. And so, and there's a transformation energy that comes between this. And I said, what was the solution to this? And we have this Two of Pentacles, which is about balancing, and then we have the beautiful Ten of Cups. And so I think the solution to the problem might be figuring out how to balance work and life so that you're not feeling or focusing on your family. Let's see what we get here, Leo. That looks super tough. You guys have been having better readings. I mean, generally this year has been kind of rough for you, I think. There's been a lot of transition and change, which being a fixed sign, you're not really excited about. But this is about the path forward and finding a creative way to doing it to get you to how do you balance things to get yourself to that happy family, right? But you have two tens. When I see two tens up, that means it is the end of a major cycle for you. And so there is something happening here that is definitely changing. So, so choose what makes you happy. Because here we have milk and honey, which to me is that same as this Ten of Cups energy. Right? See, it's got the rainbow. It's got everything you want and need and love. Right? So it is that kind of an energy. You have the happy, happy card, which means that you can choose your attitude. You can't always choose your circumstances, but you can certainly choose how you're going to approach it. And so the choice becomes what is going to lead you to happiness, because we have the round and round card. And this tells me you've seen this before. But now you're seeing it from a higher perspective with a new understanding. This is a karmic lesson. When I see round and round, that is like a karmic lesson. And the question becomes, how do you handle it this time? Because if you had learned the lesson before, you'd be getting in a new one. So it's the same one, different circumstance, same lesson. Maybe different people, something's different about it, but it's the same lesson. So the question becomes, what is your perspective and how do you handle it? How do you get this land of milk and honey? How do you balance things that keep things going? And part of it is through choosing happiness, choosing your attitude, working in that direction. Because when that moon moves into Pisces on Tuesday, this is the decisions, and it's clouded by this dream, this idea, this fantasy maybe of the 10 of Cups. And how do you make it a reality? And so there's a need to assess your current situation. How do you bring things into balance? See how the moon looks nice and balanced, half black, half white, discerning through the process. We do have Venus and Mars in a nice sextile energy on Tuesday, and Mars is in nice trine energy with the moon in Pisces, and so it's some sweet, loving energy. So make sure that you're showing appreciation to the people in your life who are there for you, that love you and care for you, and that are not stabbing you in the back. So show the appreciation. Okay, so this says more information is needed. Contact someone with expertise in this area. Consult an expert. And I feel, when I saw this, I thought you need a lawyer. Now, it could be a work contract and you need a lawyer. It could be any kind, it's a contract. So it could be marriage, it could be a lawyer. I feel like you need a lawyer. If you're being stabbed in the back at work, it could be that you need to contact HR. That would be an expert. Somebody knows something that you don't know. And I think you need to overcome your fears and push through the boundaries and seek the help that you need. There is going to be this competitiveness then. So Thursday afternoon through Friday, Saturday, all 3 of those days pretty much, there's that impulsive energy from the moon in Aries that wants to just take an action and get things done, but it tends to be overly aggressive. And so consulting an expert might help you avoid making another mistake that's unnecessary, that doesn't help. It might help you to choose a better path, a better way through. So you showed up for yourself because the Strength card showed up. That's I have deep inner strength and glorious vitality. We have Essence. In my essence, I am joy. So again, choosing to be happy is going to be very key. And I always, when I see this and there's that egg with the keyhole in it, I just feel like the key to success is your attitude. And I embrace love in all of my life. You have a miracle coming. And so I feel like even though you can't see it, there is a way through this, but you're going to need expert help to get there. And so my life is a miracle. So sometimes when a cycle ends and it's painful and it's hard and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been so stabbed in the back and this is horrible and everything. But what happens is when you get around the corner, and it can be a long corner, then you find the joy and the happiness and you're like, oh, I never would have gotten here if I had stayed where that was happening. And so allowing yourself to look forward with enthusiasm to what's around the corner, but consult an expert. Somebody knows something that you need to know. Who is that? And you have to keep things simple. That's really going to be important on Sunday when the moon is in Taurus. It's about focusing on how to create stability, but we have a lot of confusing energy happening that same day because we've got the sun in a square with Neptune and we've got Jupiter in a square with Chiron, and Chiron is all the wounds and the pain that show up, and Jupiter will expand on them. And so it is going to be a muddled up day for everybody. And so keeping things simple, trying to focus on just the next step. What's the next thing you need to do? And I think in your case, the next thing you need to do is focusing on who am I going to talk to that gives me the information I need to move this thing that's going on here in the correct direction. So I'm taking these down because I don't want to look at them. I want you to focus on this, on the miracles, embracing the joy and of being who you are, and stepping into your superpower of strength. You're very capable, Leo. Very capable. So, but sometimes you need to consult an expert, and it appears that this is one of those times. So being strong isn't going to be enough, I don't think, this time. I think this time it is going to also be asking the right people and getting the right information. Okay? All right, so we are going to move to the monthly, or the mid-month, update portion of this, and it is at 11 minutes. Okay. So, welcome to the mid-month portion. If you have just joined us, I want to thank you so much for doing this. I'm going to start with the 9-card spread. The center card is the key to the situation. And then we will cover the past, the present, the future, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. I have assigned Lenormand cards Lenormand houses to each of the positions just to help me to clarify further. Oh, that's a lot. A lot going on in the financial arena, which showed up in the weekly, so I'm not surprised. The week is half of this time frame, so they were just flying out. Okay, a new beginning. A new beginning. That doesn't surprise me because in the weekly reading you had the Ten of Swords. It's the end of a cycle. It feels like it's in the financial arena somehow. And so let's see what the key of the situation is. You have a big obstacle to overcome. Okay, again, I want to reiterate that the advice that you received on the last one was to consult an expert. So don't lose sight of that. That there might be somebody that you really need to talk to that knows more than you do. So you've been struggling to get information to come in. Up here in the House of the Rider, though, we have news and information coming in. And so I think you're finding out things that's leading forward in the situation. This isn't the past. This isn't an obstacle. But when the Rider shows up in... Oh, this is actually in the Book of Secrets. Ooh. Sorry, the Rider's down here. This feels like information revealed, though. I think either you were struggling to get information, but I feel more like you've received the information. It's coming in, and you're feeling a little stabbed in the back because the secrets are coming out. We have the secrets here in the House of the Coffin, and so that's the end of that. That's the transforming of it. That is stuff being brought to light. There is news and information coming that is definitely impacting the situation. Oh my gosh. All right, there are several ways to look at this. 80% of my viewers are female, and so when the male card shows up, it could be a male. But because it's a general reading, I tend to feel like this has more to do with the action that must be taken. The ring is here, so it could be the new beginning could be the end of an old relationship to begin a new relationship, because we have the paths here. It could be also the end of a business contract to start a new business, to work for a new company. So it could be romantic. It could be financial. This is in the House of Finances, though, and so I feel like this probably has more to do with a new career move, like making a choice. Which direction do I go in? I almost feel like the guy's like, which direction do I go in to take which contract do I want? And so, again, this consulting an expert comes in. I think that it would be important to have somebody look over the documents for you, okay? A professional that looks over the documents as you move through this cycle of change, because it is definitely a cycle of change happening for you. In the past, you had a lot of anxiety, so the mice showing up in the mouse house in the area of the heart, I don't think this is a surprise to you, but I think it really stressed you out, this feeling stabbed in the back, and now you have this big mountain that you need to overcome, but in the future you have happiness. Remember, so you get to choose your attitude, so choosing to be happy, understanding that you move through that Ten of Swords energy, then you go into that Ten of Cups energy, and so I think the way through Sometimes the only way over is through. The only way through is over. How does that saying go? You have to surmount this mountain. It is an obstacle, but you have strength. You can do this. You have miracles here backing up the situation, right? You can do this. So in the past, the area of in the house of the mountain, we have fish. And fish here represents, this is up here, this is finances. A lot of the houses showing up in your reading that I selected. Okay, there's only 9 cards and for the reading, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them so far. So more than half of them have shown up here in different placements. So this is a very significant change time these next couple of weeks. Something significant is changing. In the house of action, we have the snake. Now, the snake, traditional Lenormand refers to it as the bitch. And I think this showed up for the Taurus reading, I think. And after I said that, I got to thinking, you know, Lenormand was during that heavy patriarchy attitude, and so of course they would come up with that. But a snake to me also, so be careful that someone's hiding in the bushes and waiting to bite your ankle like a vicious snake. Okay, so yes, but it's also transformation and healing. We use it on the I think they call it a Candace or whatever, the symbol for the medical. Shows 2 snakes twining around a stick, right? An ankh, I think. So it's healing, transformation. They shed their skin. So I think as the information comes out, you're going to have to transform. You're going to have to adapt. There's going to be healing required to get from that really negative energy to that positive energy. But look, it is a new beginning and a new opportunity, okay? And here's the female, which is the receiving energy. Some of you may be being proposed to. We have the male, the female, we have the ring, and we have the bouquet. So if that is your life, congratulations. And I hope that you'll be happy for a very, very long time together. And just remember, if that is you, a marriage, a wedding is not, oh, I've accomplished this. No, it's the beginning. And there's a whole new set of mountains to climb. And flexibility and adaptability become important. All right, so, you know, you could be deciding whether or not to take action about a marriage. But we have this receiving energy here. We also have the female looking forward. I feel like I want another card. Oh, okay, so at the bottom underneath the new beginning, we have a long way to change. I don't think anybody here is going to be, I don't think you're surprised by this change. Doesn't feel, there's no shock to it. Just feels like you were trying to stop it. See if we can get, oh, well, it's lucky. So it works out for you no matter what. It works out for you. You have lucky. So you have the clover. So, you know, look to the future. Leave the past behind you. Allow it to transform. Stressing and worrying about it isn't going to do any good. Figuring out how to balance and move forward does. Okay? We have that 2 of Pentacles energy, which is all about balancing in the finances, and it's also the giving and the receiving. And we have the yin and the yang here. So, you know, figuring out how you're going to do that is going to be key. So, the giving and the receiving, right? So you have donations, tithing, and charitable works. This would be the giving. And then this is the receiving, the windfalls of abundance. Oh, that's so funny. So, if you're hanging on tightly like the 4 of Pentacles to your financial situation because you're worried about money, opening up and being a little more generous of spirit, time, money, energy, will create opportunities. So maybe you don't have a lot of money to give, but you can give your expertise and you can help somebody. And then who knows what connections that might lead to. If nothing else, it'll definitely make you feel better. So when it comes to messages from the Spirit about your heart, it says, imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities. This is definitely moving out of the dark into the light kind of energy. And when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of love and life. So, it wasn't, try not to think, oh, I shouldn't have done that, whatever that is. Instead, look for the gift and the lesson that was learned, the knowledge and the wisdom that you have, so that you don't have to go back and repeat this lesson again. So looking for the lesson really, really will help to move forward, to move out of the negative energy into the positive. So being generous of spirit and allowing this long-awaited change to happen, this new beginning. Because all I see here in the future looks really good. Okay, and not surprisingly, we have balance showing up. Your overall energy is to find the balance. That's that Two of Pentacles energy, right? Abandon prejudice and ego so that you can see true colors of your world, and the happiness that is at hand is achieved through balance. Find harmony with all things, and all things material and spiritual. Be at peace. And so again, the emphasis on, choosing the happiness. Choosing the happiness, right? And then we have that card of balance here, right? Balancing doesn't look easy. It just looks important. It looks possible. It looks doable. It's going to require effort. But that's when the miracle happens, right? Miracles. Okay, yes. On occasion, miracles seem to appear out of nowhere. A lot of times, though, miracles are just things lining up, opportunities coming in, things that you've set in motion that maybe you didn't realize you were setting in motion, and then all of a sudden you look at it and you're like, wow. So when you think about like the miracle of spring, okay, you can't see what's going on underneath the snow and the cold, right? But things are breaking down and being reinvigorated they're being nurtured and proper nutrients are getting to it, and things are happening below the surface. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the freaking winter, that first daffodil, and you go, oh, it's a miracle. We're going to make it to summer. Okay, maybe that's just me. But things were at play all along. You just didn't necessarily know that they were there, right? So, again with the empathy. So, if you are being really stingy with your time, your money, your compassion, we have empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. If you're in a negative situation with somebody, if you could try to see things from their point of view, it makes it a lot easier to release your resentment so you're not carrying it around. It makes it a lot easier to move through that energy to get to the other side of the change. You have change. Everybody has change, though. I've got news for you. Anybody who thinks that nothing's changing, they're hiding their head in the sand and hoping it'll all blow over, and it's not going to. When they finally pull their head up out of the sand, things will still have changed. It's not going to be the same. Everything is changing. It says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. And right now, the way all the planets are set up, movement, change, it's happening. The question becomes, how do you choose to manage it? How do you choose to manage it? Manage it with compassion, with empathy, with trying to find your balance, and with choosing the happiness that you can find in the moment. And if you do that, you're going to feel successful, and you're going to come out on the other side going, I am lucky, because you are. All right. You take care, Leo. I will see you next time. We'll be covering next week, plus that full moon that's happening in Gemini. That's the last full moon of 2019. Wow. End of the year already. All right, you guys take care, and we'll see you soon.